Not only did I complete Mermay, I also created a ton of characters for my very first colouring book. This is the most successful art challenge I've ever done. So in this sketchbook tour, we're exploring the backstory for every single piece. Sorry, I just did something really cool and I have to show you. This is the Create This book that's traveling all around the world, and I've only got it for 2 days. I have to show you. I made this for stained glass, and then I made this for Create a Sequel, and that video is already up by the time that you're seeing this, but I just had to show you, okay? Because it's now being wrapped up and it's now going. And I'm just feeling a little emotional. This is the sketchbook I used for Mermaid, and I actually did the cover as well in the first episode. Kind of figured if we're using it every single day, it needs to look pretty. It's actually the Ohuhu marker pad. This is collage in the background with some decoupage on top, washi tape and stickers. Hyper's Art, Tiffany Wang, Lee Ellickson, Mel's Pencils, Senorita Gabita, and Art with Ashley Monet. These are just like, oh. So we're starting a few pages in. The title page. Oh, I meant to add the dates. I completely forgot. These are the dates and this is how long I did the challenge in. This is acrylic markers. Didn't handle the paper very well. And you see it really scratched it up. And I actually put the prompts on the other side here. This is something I do for every art challenge. It's lovely being able to see all of them like this. Moving on to the first piece. This is what I made for Mirror. When I did Mermaid in 2023, the first prompt was self-portrait. Knew I didn't want to do a self-portrait this time. I was gonna force to last time. This is the very first time I've ever lined a piece with the intention of it becoming a colouring page. I didn't know if it'd work. I didn't know if it was possible. I didn't even film myself lining this piece. I used this Pentel brush pen and there's alcohol markers too. And honestly, as soon as I drew this, I felt really emotional because like it kind of looks like a colouring page. But the reason I want to highlight the highlight is so that you can draw a face without any prior knowledge. The colouring book that I'm creating, my very first colouring book, based all around faces, and it's aimed for beginners, so you don't need any prior knowledge on anatomy. As long as you kind of get the shadows and highlights in the right place, it kind of ends up like a portrait. It doesn't matter what colour you use. I did a cute background, completely forgot it needed to be a mermaid. It's literally in a house. Moving on, we've got Cosmic. I have included a galaxy in every single art challenge I've ever done. So obviously we had to do that for Cosmic. This is watercolor, gouache, and a white gel pen. Bearing in mind this is watercolor on marker paper, I think it went okay. I like the way that the gouache has gone like all spread out and pretty. Next up we've got hair. This is number 3. Naples yellow and shell pink. That's all I used. I love the idea that it doesn't need to look exactly like a mermaid because the entire piece is covered in hair. This is like a piece. It's not really a portrait or a mermaid, it's a piece, and I love that. Number 4 is axolotl. This is watercolor, and then I used Neo colors to try and save it, and I think they kind of did. The skin tone is very cool. You can see the purple here with little bits of yellow, which I like. The eyes are a bit too blue, they're a bit scary. And this, I was intending to just be a mermaid, and then I loved it so much that it's gonna be in the coloring book too. In the initial sketch, the water was a lot higher. It sort of came up to up here. Number 5 is drama. That is literally the worst prompt. What do you do for drama? I couldn't think of anything. So I did a little magician boy, pointy ears and red skin. Don't know what that's about. You know what? That's a little hack. If you don't have any skin tone markers or you're not comfortable making skin tones, just make them red. Just make them a completely different color. It's fine. One thing I really love about this design is that it's like a suit, but it's built into the mermaid. Can you tell that I hadn't planned a background? Number 6, sweet treat. I was playing about with a different style. No lighting is happening here. Moving on to number 7, this is the final one of the first week of prompts. Alcohol markers, there's only about 3 or 4 here. I love the color palette. I love that it's so soft. I did think about adding a background, but honestly, I think a lot of the pieces have contrast. So I like that this one is very light toned. Number 8 is Atlantis. So I made this. I think this took the longest out of everything. I love all of the colors here. You can see the yellows and blues and pinks. You can see that there are so many many different colors. I'm not sure it looks like a skin tone, but it does look fun. Color pencils on their own take forever. Moving on to number 9, cubism. This was always supposed to be a simple one. I do think in art challenges like this, you need to have simple pieces. You need to have quick pieces. I had an idea for the prompt cubism to do triangles. There's a head here, there's kind of hair here, going down into the body and the tail. The arms are here. I think you can just about see there's a mermaid. It was a lot of fun, this one. It was actually really quite relaxing. Number 10 is lost and found. I got so stuck with this prompt. Originally, I was thinking of like, what 2 things go together? Like food. I went for 2 colors that have to go together because they're complementary. Purple and yellow. I think they're the 2 most iconic complementary colors. A cute little frame. These were kind of supposed to be lights glowing in the dark, so that didn't work. The 2 colors were so different that I just couldn't get them to blend. I don't have a lot of experience with alcohol markers. This is the most I've ever used them. It doesn't matter how experienced you are as an artist. If you get a new medium, you're always going to struggle. Whilst there are transferable skills, you are starting from the beginning again, so you can't be too harsh on yourself when you're starting with new mediums. Saying that, I've had the alcohol markers about a year now, but I still feel like a beginner. And with that, number 11 is guard. This is based on the guard outfits in Skyrim. Drew all of this by hand and then it started to disappear with the alcohol markers and I got really sad. The little plates, they're completely different sizes. I didn't notice that. Nobody wants to draw chainmail, so if I do it once, we can all just colour it in and have fun. That's the idea. But I've drawn it once here and now I have to draw it again on the computer, so I didn't think that through. Number 12 is redraw. Here they are. The prompt was dystopian, and because this is a full mermaid, we're just doing a really close-up portrait this time. I swapped it around. I swapped it around to the other side because we wouldn't have seen the shaved head on the other side. I kind of felt like because I'd already drawn the character once, I could just experiment. Now we're on to 13, which is cabaret. This is very Liza Minnelli inspired. The tail will be removed for the colouring book. We'll put an interesting background in. We've got all of the cliche pieces here with the feather and the jewellery. And this is one of those characters that I wouldn't have been able to create without the prompt. I'm not the best at creating original characters. I don't have much imagination at all. I want to say a quick thank you to my sketchbook buddies on Patreon. You guys are the best. After making these really detailed faces, I wanted to move on to something simple. So for 14, the prompt is brave and I made this. It's supposed to be a mermaid swimming down into a cavern or something, and these are the rocks on the outside. I don't know if that comes across. Moving on, 15 is peach. Funnily enough, I don't actually own a peach alcohol marker. I do think the arm is in the wrong place, but because this is alcohol marker, there isn't really much we can do. We can't really get the highlight back. Moving on to the weirdest prompt in this entire challenge. Number 16 is beach goth. What is that? If anyone knows what that is, please tell me down below. So I used a dark color palette. Backgrounds are a struggle for mermaid, okay? Let's move on to number 17, eccentric. This one I really like. I don't know why, but I wrote down on the notes section on my phone that I wanted to make a cherry inspired mermaid. The outfit is where the eccentric comes in. I'm so poor, I don't even know. What is that style? It's like country club. It's a beret with a cute little skirt matching with a bow. Don't know what it was about, but I did it. 18 is abracadabra. I do really like this one. It is going to be in the colouring book. Oh, I spent so long drawing these braids and I was really happy with them. And then I added the blue on top and you can't see the line work at all. I lost them completely. I really want to make sure that the colouring book is diverse. So I did want to include vitiligo. I also really wanted to include braids because they're not fun to draw. You can experience it without having to go through the pain of drawing them. You can just colour it in and have fun. But you know what? They look different to the little boy. Oh, this is bioluminescent. It's the first spooky mermaid. It's like the black is kind of the night sky, and then this is the glowing waves, the bioluminescent part, and also the mushrooms, because apparently they do it too. Went a little bit overboard with the gel pen. You can see the white gel pen literally everywhere in this piece. And I love the way the tail splits off like this. I don't know if I've actually seen that before. Number 20 is clown. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is obviously for the coloring book because you can't tell if they're a mermaid or not. Last time I went a little bit overboard and I made every single mermaid look pretty much identical because they're all full body pieces and I kind of got sick of it. So I actually really enjoyed this year having portraits, having close-up pieces. Going into the third week now, we've got aquarium for 21, alcohol markers with some color pencils on top. I know it's sad, but I really like it. I think it is kind of a statement piece. The way that there is detail, but it's also very loose, I'm a fan. Moving on to 22. Oh, this is where it all went wrong. Do you remember that Pentel brush pen that I showed you? I thought that it would work with watercolor. It didn't. The blue was a bad choice. I should have just left it white. I don't know why, but I decided to do it again. So I did it for number 23. I think at this point I only had watercolors out, but let's just go for it. Number 24. The prompt is watercolor. I did this on the same day as the previous ones. I wanted to make it look obviously like watercolor. Blooms with wet on wet with splatters. We're getting there. We're on 25 and it's tsunami. And I wasn't intending to use India ink, but I actually just painted a movie scene, so I just wanted to use what was out. Blooms are a little bit controversial, but honestly, I love all of them. And this bit here was supposed to be darker, but I just didn't have the heart to cover any of it up. So it's looking a little bit flat. It's an outfit that's supposed to look like a wave. Number 26 is memory. So we got a little bit of nostalgia here, a little bit Y2K. I love the hair if I just got it right. If I had a bit more space, I always accidentally make them a little bit too big. The color palette was a random choice, but I like it. Maybe turn them just a little bit so we can see the clothes more and really lean into this. Number 27 is Oasis. This is actually alcohol marker with acrylic on top. I've never used that combination before. It was odd. I kept it minimalist. I think at this point I just didn't know what else to do. We've just done loads of portraits. So we're gonna move on to some mermaids now. Number 28 is Gemini. I've actually already created a Gemini. I created an original character based on every single star sign. That whole playlist is down below if you want to check it out. We did all 12. Similar concepts. We're actually on the final stretch now. All of this was done on the exact same day. I painted these plant pots. I painted 3 plant pots with the acrylic markers and I had everything out. Number 29 is Wicked, villain archetype. These are all flat colors with line work. I don't normally do anything like this. Saving time, we can now move on to this one. Exoskeleton, armor all over, and this extends into the tail. This is the tail bending back here. But I do like the color palette. I think it's quite appealing. I like the little splashes of pink. The final piece in this mermaid sketchbook tour. Oh, and this is actually the second mermaid sketchbook tour. I've done a tour of this one. I've actually done loads of sketchbook tours, so if you want to check out the playlist, I'll leave that below as well. I went quick. This was at the end of all of those pieces. Really quickly popped some colors down, made something a bit crazy. The prompt is Serenity. The face is looking a little bit creepy, but that's it. I finished all of Mermay. I want to say a huge thank you for joining me today. I really hope you've enjoyed having a little look through, a little chit chat. I'll be back in a few days and I hope to see you then. Bye bye.